All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, double honors to apostle and elders in New York, GMS. Salutations to Yakran World Teaching Truth. Shalom to you, serious Aqua. My name is Maya Kaala Bun Gad with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. We are not black Hebrew Israelite. Black is a shade of color, not a nationality. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, speckled birds, scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their father's paternal bloodline go back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. We are not affiliated with any violent or militant groups. All right, we are not affiliated with any individual who label black Hebrew Israelites or label themselves black Hebrew Israelites. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite camps. All right, and again, black is a shade of color, not a nationality. All right, so we continue with part 2. Response to Garfield video. All right, where he talking about so-called Negroes in America, specifically talking about the so-called Negroes, West Indians, are disrespecting their African culture because they're claiming to be Israelites. All right, they know they're Israelites. He said that's disrespect. First of all, like I said, African. What African culture? All right, Africans come from a so-called white man name. Skip your Africanus. I don't care what you say. All right, you go to Italy, you will find Italian families who has surnames with various the word Africanus. All right, is the word African. All right, now. It go right here, 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. It said, "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." Right. So there's nothing you could do, Garfield, against this truth, man. All right. You can come with all the little lies and everything, Look at this. Can't be reached, man. It's all good. All right. So let me try this again. Every time I get on these demons, man, see. It never fails, man. It never fails. Let me see if I can fix this. Get my internet going. Alright. So yeah, man, there's nothing you could do about it, man. We like I said, man, we don't give it we don't care, man. Alright. We here at Great Millstone, man, we're Israelites by faith, blood, and flesh, man. Alright. By faith, blood, flesh. Faith, spirit, blood, and flesh, man. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. All right, we don't care about no DNA test, because number one, I'm just saying that we ain't scared no DNA test, all right? Because he's all not going to tell you the truth. He's all not going to tell you the Israelites, all right? So most of the DNA, they'll say, well, you from West Africa, you from Northeast Africa, from Central Africa, oh, you're from England, you're from Scotland, Wales, all right? Well, number of Israelites dwell in those places anyway, all right? So nobody afraid, DNA test, man, all right? Nobody has the DNA of Shem, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his 12 sons. Nobody had their original Y DNA. If you saying that, you're a liar, all right? And that's how I know that the DNA test is a bunch of bull crap. And again, they not gonna tell you that you're Israelite. You looking for that, you're gonna drop dead, man. All right. Let me get this scripture right here. Psalms. What was the primacy? Job 13:4. Yeah, man, because he's a forger of lies, man. Esau. All right. It said Job chapter 13, verse 4, "But ye are forger of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." All right, and that's Esau. He's a forger of lies. All right, that DNA, J mark, all that stuff, man, is bull crap. All right, excuse my Danish. All right. Now let's get to matter of fact, let me put this up again so it won't get taken down. All right, let me read this. All right, so All right, copyright disclaimer on section 107, Copyright Act 19 allowance made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. Fair use is used prohibited by copyright statute may otherwise be infringed. All right, so all right, I do not own this clip right here. All right, it's about all right, I do not own this clip. This is for
Abraham.
Educational.
We were in the place.
All right, this is Avid Amy. All right, so I'll just use this clip for educational reasons. Do not own the audio or the video. Again, this is for educational purposes. All right, I have not made any profit. All right, now listen to the next 5 to 7 minutes of this. Watch this.
Called Ibugad, the place, the palace of God.
Yes.
So some things there. How do we know? If you are to tell me succinctly, how do we know? Do you believe that you are ancestors from the tribe of God?
Of course, we believe that we are ancestors of the tribe of God. Let me make it more clearer. Just like you rightly said before, that even after the dispersion of the children of Israel, that the 10 tribes, that there were other tribes that deflated to Judah.
That's right.
And that is to say,
A portion.
it's a mixture of other tribes.
That's right.
Good. Now, when you come to this very part of the world where the Igbos do exist, yes, we are called the tribe of Gad because the first person to enter here among all the tribes is God himself. But we have other tribes scattered all over the place.
That's
we
right.
have a tribe of Judah, we have a tribe, so many
The tribe of
tribes like
God,
that,
it's-
and Levi in this very place.
Right.
Now, so but all put together, like we have already said most of the time, that inside every Jew is the 12 tribe. So we
Absolutely.
are made up of all the tribe of Israel here in Nigeria.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But there are some
Like I said again, majority of the Northern Kingdom came over to America, but some was left behind. All right, some was left behind. They dwelt among the Southern Kingdom. All right. Okay.
uniqueness here that we cannot ignore with the tribe of God.
Yes,
There is some
yes,
uniqueness.
yes.
So everything that you know is passed orally.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Everything
That's how it is.
All right. Now that's how we know those that are descended from the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians that came to the Caribbean islands, Americas. That's how they know they're Israelites, because they look at the custom of these people. All right. You talking about, oh, they didn't have written records and everything. Talking to you, Garfield, and your crew. All right, they pass it down orally, man. They pass it down orally.
The oral tradition, storytelling, that is the way our ancestors passed information to us in the olden days. Because you see, actually, when we came down to this very place, because we were surrounded by so many enemies, so our ancestors began to make code. It's some of the knowledge that they have.
Didn't our people did that? All right, don't our people did that when they was over here in North America? All right, the so-called Negroes, Israelites. Then they use codes to tell which runaway captives, so-called slave, to run and which direction to avoid the slave catchers. All right, they put codes in the quilts. All right, they put codes in where they hair braided and stuff, man. All right.
They coded it in form of story, fair stories. They put stories that are talking about the tortoise, talking about the bird, using animals to make representation in order to code it so that our
It's like the scriptures. All right, the scriptures use metaphorical meaning. All right, some of the scriptures is metaphoric, some of the scriptures is literal.
neighbors will not be able to really understand who we are, but our own people understand because it is like a code.
Can you give me an example of a code?
Yes.
Give me an example of a code like that.
Like a code
That say who they really are, but so that they will not able to understand.
Yes. So now when you give the true story of the tortoise, the evil man is depicted like a tortoise.
Let me say it again. All All right, the focus on the evil customs, what these evil men are saying. All right, now they're going all about following Judaism. Yeah, all right, because Israelites, we don't deal with Judaism. All right, we deal with laws, statutes, commandments. All right, Judah is derived from the word Judaism, doctrine of the Jews. There's more than 3 tribes. All right, because Kingdom Judah consists of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All right, you got the rest of the tribes. Also, the word Judah comes from one from the tribe of Judah. Like this man said, they have this. This what he said. He said they had Judah, Levi. They also had Dan. All right, Dan is not among us here in Americas. All right, okay. We'll know what happened to Dan. That was Dan, and we get in the kingdom, man. All right, but just point it out, man. All right, the focus is on the customs and culture of the evil. All right, what they was doing before they had contact with Esau, the so-called white man.
Tortoise is in Igbo land is known as a very wise and cunning animal, and because of this, they tell our children the stories of how the tortoise do this, how the tortoise do the other one, showing or trying to depict the fact that the Igbo race came from a very wise people.
Okay.
Right. Now, when we come down, in every garden that we do, because when we left, we still had in great quantity the customs, the traditions that were handed over to us way back from our fathers. So when we gather like this, our people will say, Igbo, when? The response will be Ya. And Ya is a short form of Yodevahe. So these has already all the time been with their people. We didn't learn it from anybody.
Let's take a tradition.
All right.
Let's look at something like this: circumcision.
Right.
Were you circumcised in the 8th day?
All right, good. Yes. Here in the whole part of Igbo land, there is no part of Igbo land where...
I'm just curious at the older man here. Were you all circumcised in the 8th day?
Yes. So there's no part of
Now, the Igbo calendar, the one we know is 4 days. All right, but why would they circumcise their kid? Not the first, the first of when that child is born, because it's 4 days in the Igbo calendar. Why that child is not circumcised on the 4th day? Why they wait another week for the child to be circumcised? Why? Because, like I said, Romans 8:16, our spirit bear witness, we are the children of Israel. All right, because they was deep in their subliminal mind, they know to circumcise their child on the 8th day. All right, some things change when you go into the diaspora, when they constantly moving around. You're gonna get some things mixed up. All right, things gonna change. Okay, play this all right for you all scoffers. All right, like so, how they circumcise on the 8th day? They got 4 days in a week, man. All right. But anyway, back to this.
land where circumcision is not done on the 8th day. But you see, with the coming of the white man and the introduction of modernism, even they are beginning to use our doctors to force the people to be either circumcised before the 8th day or after it, with some flimsy excuses like that.
So this is just happening.
It's just happening now. But before now, it is a must that when the child is born in Igbo land, he must be
So let's say I go 1 or 2 generations back, sir,
yes,
to the generation of your grandfather.
Yes.
It would not have been heard of.
It's a taboo. It's a taboo to give birth to a male child. Even before the 70s, you are talking of way back. I'm talking before the 70s, before the war.
So you're talking about recent. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When you circumcise your child on the 8th day, do you actually name him?
Yes. It is the same day that the child is circumcised that we do the naming ceremony.
And that's the most Jewish thing.
Yes. And we do not only name our children just by mere naming, either we name them according to our ancestry lineage, or we name the child according to the circumstance behind the birth of that child.
Amazing.
Or the market day on which is born.
Amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So you do circumcision according to the house of Israel.
Yes. On the 8th day. On the 8th day.
Let's things that are amazing.
All right.
In a wedding ceremony, let's talk for a second in a wedding ceremony.
All right.
Do you have a canopy? Do you have something resembling a chuppah?
Yes, we have.
What else do you do in the ceremony? I read that do you do something with the wine? You drink a cup of wine?
Thank you. In every Igbo tradition and ceremonies,
Yes.
wine is a very important part of the ceremony. You can't do any ceremony without wine.
Okay.
Just exactly the same way the Jew Israelite do. We do everything that we do here. The prayers are done with the wine.
And what is the thing about the money to give money in the wedding? What is that all about?
Thank you. In the money that we give in wedding, one include the paying of the bride price.
You price the bride?
We pay the bride price. That is to say.
That's amazing,
Yes.
because in a Jewish ceremony,
Yes.
you pay the rabbi to
Yes.
purchase your bride.
Yes, that's exactly what
That's a
we do.
Jewish ceremony.
Yes, that's what we do.
In Judaism, you also do what's called like ketuvah. Do you have something similar to that?
Yes, in Igbo land we have a kind of ketubah, but it is an oral ketubah
Oral.
and not a written one.
Oral ketuvah.
Actually, when a woman is married to a man, that woman remains the wife of that man until either the man decides to divorce the woman, either by reason of some certain misbehavior or whatever. If that man divorces the woman, for him to show that he has divorced the woman, he must give the woman a certificate of a divorce. And that
You have the concept of a certificate of
yes,
divorce.
and the certificate of divorce is that he will go back to the family of that woman and collect back the bride price.
Amazing.
Because all the ceremonies that are done in marriage, it could take you 1 million naira to do a marriage ceremony, but it could maybe take you about maybe 100 naira as a bride price.
Amazing.
So when you take back the 100 naira from the family, because they are not going to give you back all that you spend in the ceremonies. The only thing that is possible to give you back is the bride price. So the moment you collect back the bride price in good faith, it is the certificate of divorce that you are giving to that woman. That woman now has right now to
And you read that in the book of Tobit. All right, that's the thing. All right, but anyway,
remarry.
Amazing. What about if your brother dies?
Thank you.
Are you responsible to take his wife?
Thank you. Yes, in the Jewish tradition, we call it leverage marriage. In Igbo land here, we have leverage marriage. When a man is married and he could not produce a male child to represent him here on earth, because we call it in our own tradition, ahamefuna. Ahamefuna. No man born child in Igbo land that will want his name not to remain forever. So if we can't get a male child to represent him, so when the moment he dies, the brother or the nearest kin will take over the woman to produce a child in the name of that his brother, and we call it Ikuchiwai in Igbo land.
Do they have significance, David, to the firstborn? Do you do anything for a firstborn in the Hebrew tradition that you're aware of?
Of course, the firstborn is the owner of his father's obi.
bam, there you go. All right, out of the horses, the old saying, out of the horse's own mouth, man. All right, so there's no shadow of doubt that the Igbo are Israelites. These are Igbo men in Nigeria. All right, not a bunch of Negroes on a conference call on YouTube. All right, who probably never seen a picture of Nigeria. Right, these are Igbo men from Nigeria telling about their ancient customs, what they was doing before Esau, the so-called white man, came over there, man. All right, yeah, it's what we call overkill. All right, so let's see, he want to talk about. I'm gonna get this part in this video. Where is that? Alright, cause elsewhere in his video, Garfield video, alright, he want to talk about the You won't cry talking about the Portuguese. All right, the Jews that came over, the Portuguese Jews. All right, what was the Huguenots? The Huguenots. All right. Let me see. Go to Coromel. All right, so I'm trying to see which video. When you talking about the Huguenots, if I can find it. All right, there you go, right here. All right. Sephardi Morisco, free people of color. All right, what it be? Sephardi, Portuguese, all same people, man. All right. And this is what Garfield don't want you to know. All right, he likes all these are so-called white people. First of all, there's no such thing as nobody's white like this background. All right, nobody's black like these fonts. All right, you got two groups of people on the earth. All right, you got the Israelites and other nations, while brown skin, and you got Edom, the so-called white man whose skin is translucent, his blood, flesh drawn to the vein, which give off a red color in various shades of red. All right, I think this might be the.
If we lose a sense of our American history, we'll lose what it is that unites us as one people.
Let me see if I could. Is this the video? Let me see. 50.
To the Aborigines of America, he brought only evil. It was the acquisition of a fierce propaganda. It was grinding labor. It was cruelty, which could only end an extermination of the natives. Yeah, that's what they tell us, right? You're still here.
Salak, where I get this family member. Just hold on, Akim. Hello.
Hey, why can't you?
No, she not here. She going out. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, Auntie. I'm doing all right. All right, I'll tell you, call. All right then. Bye bye. All right, so Salak, I have to take that important phone call. All right, so continue play this.
What he dispensed of, Moorish civilization, was only good. Columbus said, what? He said only Moorish civilization was good. The inventions and discoveries they had introduced. His vessel was fitted out in the little port of Palos, which had lately been a Moorish port. Alright? So if you haven't seen my video, Columbus and his Negro friends, right after this, you can go watch that or tomorrow, and you can see that the crew he had was a lot of Moorish Jews and all that. He was considered a Moor. So again, his sailors, all right, so he left this port, which was a Moorish port, Palos in Spain. That city was a Moorish town still. His sailors were many of them men with Moorish blood in their veins. All right, many of them had what? Many of them had Moorish blood in their veins. So when you're telling me, people like to call me European, and it's the same Moorish people a lot of the time call me European because I'm supposedly Spaniard, right? So that's not my only ancestry, but if you want to call it, well, yeah, they were actually Moorish, the Spaniards that got to Costa Rica. Your ancestors, if you're a Moor. So your Moor ancestors came and enslaved what? They brought only evil to my other ancestors.
It's a lot.
Call from Buenatina.
Hello. No more robot call. Salak. All right. So, Salak, one of my family members was hospitalized, so I have to take phone calls. All right. Let's back to this.
The Aborigine who was here, Chief Garavito and his people, and the Queen Chorotega and her people.
Oh, who are they?
These tribes from, the chief of a tribe in Costa Rica and a queen from another tribe in Costa Rica. Technology. I don't just have Spaniard or Moorish in me. Ish. Alright? So, just like a lot of people's about to do, if they really start doing their genealogy, they're about to find out a lot about themselves. Alright? They're about to and so they like to point fingers, but
Yep, a lot of people they like to point out that this person had slave this way when you use enslaving your own people, man. All right, some of your ancestors, some of our people ancestors was slave their own people. Those were the Huguenots, which consists of Sephardic and Morisco Moors, but no number of Israelites. All right, then also those Portuguese, a lot of them was actually uh, uh, Portuguese Jews and Moors. Israelites, the same people, man. All right.
they're gonna start having to point a finger at themselves and talking to the mirror soon. All right. So it has been asserted that when the Moors were driven out, thousands took refuge in the south of France. Thousands who afterwards, abhorring the Roman Catholic persecutions, they became what? They became Huguenots. We just been talking about Moors, Huguenots, and that of these many emigrated at a later date to where? South Carolina. And what did they do in South Carolina, Kiowa?
Oh, you talking about that slave trade, that indigo trade?
That merchant business. They talk it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people might be taking this personal stuff, and they still come and want to try to attack me. You know, but it's all right. That's still all right as long as the people. There's 500 people now listening.
All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. I got to do something important. All right.